Live on YouTube, live on Rumble. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. I'm Xander. We are joined by Jay, although I think he might have... Pardon me. That came out of nowhere. Don't get into sandblasting. Leaves you with permanent disfigurement in the lungs. Yeah, we have Jay here, although I think he might have passed out, waiting for the show. It's 9 o'clock over there for where he's at. Anyway, and, you, of course. We will be joined by the Golden Loon here, sooner rather than later, hopefully. And today is Tears' Day, aka Tuesday, May 19th, 2026. This show is about interesting and important. We have a 33-page article. Yeah, not too bad today. So, hey, we are being currently joined by...
Hey, the Golden Loon.
There he is. The man, the myth, the legend. So, yeah. Let's get into the history show today, shall we? 639. Ashina Jaishahashi and his tribesmen assaulted Emperor Taizong at Junxing Palace, according to other source. Moving on up to 1182, the high altar of Paris Cathedral Notre Dame was consecrated by Cardinal Henry de Chateau-Marquet and Maurice de Sully. Okay. 1499, Catherine of Aragon was married by proxy to Arthur, Prince of Wales. Catherine was 13 and Arthur was 12. You know, that sounds...
we talked about them, it seemed like the other day.
I think we spoke about a different marriage, because there's several marriages. Like, there's another one later today which I couldn't give less of a crap about, but the only reason why it's even marked to be read is because it was watched worldwide by like 1.9 billion people or something. So it's important to them for whatever reason, and that many people, I'm going to report on it, even though I think that the event itself is ridiculous. Anyway, 1506, Christopher Columbus selected his son Diego Columbus as sole heir. I didn't even know he had a son.
No.
1515, in the year, George, Duke of Saxony, sold Friesland for 100,000 gold guilders to Charles, Duke of Burgundy, later Emperor Charles V. All right. 1518, public unveiling of Titan's masterpiece, Assumption of the Virgin, a painted altarpiece in the Basilica di Santa Maria Gloriosa dei Frari in Venice. So that's a picture of it right there, and I have a better picture of it right here. And I'm actually going to image search this because it shows some windows to either side of it. So it's in like this little alcove type thing. Look at that. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure if that's part of the wall, because it looks like actually it's something that's not affixed to the wall. It's more in the center of the room here.
Looks like it's come forward, yeah.
Yeah. So, no, that looks... I don't know. Maybe it's forced perspective, but that's starting to look like it's... I don't know. That's weird. Like, it just... I don't know. It looks like it's part of the wall, but it is coming out.
Yeah.
So it's not like flat to the wall, but it's not part of it.
But it looks like it is attached, or you're not going to get behind it.
Yeah. Anyway, what else do we got here? 1520, Battle of Raishu, Krishnadevararia, this word here, ruler of the Indian Vijayanagara Empire, successfully took the fort of Raishur from the Sultanate of Bijapur with 132,000 troops and 550 elephants. That's a lot of elephants. 1535.
Yeah, that is.
Yep. 1535, French explorer Jacques Cartier left France on his second voyage of discovery to Newfoundland for Francis I with 3 ships. Now, according to other source, he had 110 men, and Chief Donnaconiga's 2 sons, whom Cartier had kidnapped during his first voyage.
Oh,
okay, well, he's bringing them back. Or maybe. I don't know. 1536, Anne Boleyn, second wife of English King Henry VIII, was beheaded at the Tower of London on charges of adultery, incest, and treason. So we've been talking about this for the past couple of days. Remember her supposed 4 lovers and all that jazz. And this is the 3rd day in a row I think we've seen this picture here. 1568, English Queen Elizabeth I arrested Mary, Queen of Scots. We spoke about this the other day when Mary was fleeing. And she was trying to seek refuge, but instead she was arrested. So, by her own cousin, no less. 1568, English Queen, we got that one. 1571, Miguel Lopez de Legazpi founded Manila in the Philippines. 1585, Spain confiscated English ships in Spanish harbors, beginning of the Anglo-Spanish War. And I initially was going to overlook that, but we have another war involving Spain. Actually, right next article here. 1635, France's first minister, Cardinal Richelieu, declared war on Spain. The Franco-Spanish War of 1635 through 59. So we have two wars with Spain already involved. The first one with England.
100 years.
Yeah, actually within 50. 85 to 35. That's 50 years on the dot. So, and Spain is going to get its teeth kicked in here soon. 1643, a battle at Rocroi/Allersheim. French forces destroyed a Spanish army. So during the 30 Years' War, French forces under the Duc d'Orléans decisively defeated Spanish forces at the Battle of Rocroi, marking the symbolic end of Spain as a dominant land power. So yeah, as I said, they got their teeth kicked in. And, Spain is, the people are not done with Spain, it seems. 1643, Dutch expedition to southern Chile, led by Hendrik Breuer, captured Spanish-held islands of Chiloé and massacred its garrisons. We also have Massachusetts Bay, Plymouth, Connecticut, and New Haven formed the United Colonies of New England. And we have this. So the Massachusetts Bay Colony, Plymouth Colony, and I don't think that's all of them, because I don't see Connecticut and New Haven, what did New Haven become? Because Plymouth became Maryland, right here.
That
Plymouth.
far down?
Isn't that Maryland right here?
I don't know.
Far down. This is Massachusetts.
Oh, okay. Maryland.
Because,
I thought Maryland was farther south.
well, no, Maryland's like in the middle. Hold on a second. East Coast USA map.
Isn't Maryland below Washington, D.C.?
Maryland is above Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Actually, adjacent to it. Because right here, you see right here?
Yeah.
This is Maryland.
Okay.
Okay. And actually, no, I was thinking up here. So that's where we are, Massachusetts, up there. So you're right, it is south, but it's not way south.
No, I didn't mean in the south.
So it is way south here. But no, Maryland, it's situated in Maryland. Because this is Virginia right here.
Yeah.
And in Maryland, you can see right here,
And
it's
then what's
pointing.
Washington, D.C.?
It's right here, the star.
So
Right
it
there.
is. Yeah, it is right there.
Yes.
Okay. I was right.
Yeah.
Where I was thinking.
Yeah. Anyway, what else do we got here? 1649, England was declared a commonwealth by an act of the Rump Parliament, making England a republic for the next 11 years. Huh. That's interesting. 1655, the invasion of Jamaica began during the Anglo-Spanish War.
Or Jamaica.
Yeah. Well, Poland is going to get hit here in a minute, too. 1662, Act of Uniformity came into effect, reintroducing a revised Book of Common Prayer after the Restoration. 1743, Jean-Pierre Christin developed the Centigrade temperature scale. So there's it's a different form. There's Fahrenheit, there's Celsius, and there's centigrade.
Oh,
And
I'm not familiar with centigrade.
difference between Celsius and centigrade. So the degree Celsius is a unit of temperature on the Celsius temperature scale, one of two temperature scales used in the International System of Units, CSI, the other being the closely related Kelvin scale. Okay, so that's telling me about Kelvin, but it says here, according to the AI, Celsius and centigrade refer to the same temperature scale, with Celsius being the modern and officially recognized term since 1948. So centigrade is the same thing, according to AI, so take that with a grain of salt. I could have sworn there was like a very minute difference. What is this right here? Oh yeah, here we go. The centigrade scale is divided into degrees based on dividing the temperature between which water freezes and boils into 100 gradients or degrees equally. The word centigrade comes from centi for 100 and grade for gradients. So that's centigrade. And I have a stupid little ad pop up here. The Celsius scale is a type of centigrade scale. So Celsius is centigrade, not the other way around, because centigrade came first. So they just gave it a better name. Yeah. So anyway, what else do we got here? 1749, British King George II of England granted a charter to Ohio Company to settle the Ohio Valley in America. charter of land around the forks of the Ohio River, according to other source there. 1780, at about midday, near total darkness descended on New England, now known to be caused by forest fires in Canada.
Whoa.
So it's known as New England's Dark Day. It was an unusual darkening of the day sky over parts of New England and Canada. So, and I'm going to image search this just to show more modern examples, because there's been multiple events.
Big fires up there just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, like up here.
Yeah.
Canada wildfires prompt air quality warnings, everything, all the way over the Midwest.
No.
It's going all the way, these are different wildfire hotspots, but all this stuff, it just carries over, in the winds and all that stuff. So
It's up in the currents, air currents.
yeah. What else do we got here? 1792, the Russian army entered Poland, as I said earlier. Poland, always gets something. 1793, Netherlands captured French island of Saint Martin, held until 1795. So only about 2 years there.
We have a hell of a warring history.
Oh
in
yes.
the world.
Oh yes. No, I actually wanted to bring that up. There's a lot of wars and everything. I've been noticing, because up until more recent times, war was always the knee-jerk first reaction. It's oh, how dare you disagree with me? This means war. There's no diplomacy. But now with everybody working together and everything, after World War I and especially World War II, but World War I most notably, because everybody got in, they got involved because of this diplomatic agreement or that, promise or whatever, and everybody was forced by their word to participate, on one side or the other. Mm-hmm. So, diplomacy eventually, rather rapidly after that, became, war transferred from the first option to the last, overnight.
Because it had to. Look at technology.
Yeah.
We can self-destruct the entire planet.
Well, it's not just that.
It has to be diplomatic first. Leave it till because it's so destructive.
Well, it's not because of the destruction. It's that people don't want to expend resources unnecessarily. People that the world leaders couldn't give a tiddler's damn about how much they'd blow up, but they do care how much of their equipment they use to blow stuff up. So, something like the World War I, as I said, all of these, treaties between all these countries and all that stuff, the first real whack at international diplomacy and everything. Well, this guy declares war on this guy, and then because this guy has an agreement with this guy, he gets dragged in, and because this guy has something with that other guy, because that's how World War I really got started. It was a whole bunch of people unknowingly dragged in because of agreements and stuff that they made, not realizing that there was so much, overlap that everybody got involved unintentionally.
And we got a great one with that, with NATO.
Yeah.
I mean, you strike one, you strike all.
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly. So, but yeah, now we realize, if we don't want to sit there and expend all of our resources in one war, only to have somebody else declare war on us next, and then we're screwed. We have to all do the best we can to just talk things out, and unfortunately it doesn't always work out. It seems though, especially more recent times, that things we go to war a lot more than we should now. The whole thing with Iran, everything's going crazy. So, but I don't know that much into it. I'm not saying one way or the other. It's just absolutely nuts. But anyway, let's get back into the history here. 1796, game protection law restricted encroachment on Indian hunting grounds. Excellent. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 1798, Napoleon Bonaparte and his expedition force left France to invade Egypt. Here we go, more war.
Yeah.
So, 1802, the French Order of Legion d'Honneur formed. Napoleon Bonaparte founded the Legion of Honor. So, yeah. 1828. The U.S. President John Quincy Adams signed the Tariff of 1828, the Tariff of Abominations, into law to protect industry in the North. So protecting wool manufacturers in the U.S., according to secondary source. 1845, Captain Sir John Falkland and his ill-fated Arctic expedition departed from Greenock, England. So I guess he didn't make it, ill-fated. 1848, this is a pretty big one here. Mexican-American War. Mexico ratified the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, thus ending the war and ceding California, Nevada, Utah, and parts of four other modern-day U.S. states to the United States for $15 million.
Boy, they lost a lot of territory.
Yeah, well, that was after they lost Texas.
Yeah.
You know, when they went in there and all that stuff. So, like, boom, boom. You know, we basically cut their country in half.
Yeah.
Like, we took half of their original country.
Yeah.
So, like, because this is all the Texas stuff right here.
Yeah.
Like, it shows, like, everything in the red line was Mexico. And I'm sure that they were, I guess not. I guess not, maybe up more north. So, because that was more.
I could go into Portland, but maybe not.
Maybe at one point, I'm not sure, but, like, you know, back in the times, like, there was, France, England, and Spain were warring each other and carving these lands out.
Yeah.
And eventually Spain lost control over Mexico. Mexico became Mexico. We got the Louisiana Purchase from France.
Yeah.
You know, and then the whole Lewis and Clark expedition and everything, and that went up into the Pacific Northwest. And I think by then, like Spain had ceded all that land to Britain and France or something before fully losing Mexico. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure, but this entire purple section, I believe, is all the Guadalupe Hidalgo thing. It says here the Texas. Let's see if I can bigger this. So open image in new tab. Yeah, here we go. That's a lot better. Texas declared independence in 1836, annexed by U.S. in 1845, and this was in 1848.
48. Oh,
The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo.
Yeah,
1848.
There you go.
So, and then claimed by Texas to U.S. So this was claimed by Texas until we got Texas, and then so, like, you know, all of this is all mismatched and everything. But yeah, it was like a 1-2 punch with Mexico. 1856, Senator Charles Schumer of Massachusetts spoke out against slavery. Good.
Yeah.
1 year later, Stadians William Francis Channing and Moses G. Farmer patented the electric fire alarm. That's what this thing is right there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, 1863, Siege of Vicksburg, investment of city complete. So I guess like they fully encircled it or something, or I guess they took it. The North did Vicksburg. So we've been talking about the Battle of Vicksburg for the past couple of days. Doing a look for any comments. We have none. Okay. What else do we got here? 1883, William F. Buffalo Bill Cody opened Buffalo Bill's Wild West show in Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah.
So that's him right there, the actual guy. Like he portrayed on stage himself. Yeah. And then at times apparently he used real bullets and shot out actual lights during the show, and the audience just thought it was like, you know, part of the spectacle. Like. But not really realizing that he was legitimately shooting out the lights above their head.
But I think Andy Oakley was also in his show.
Maybe, because we spoke about that a bit ago too, right?
I think so.
Yeah. 1884, Ringling Brothers Circus premiered in Baraboo, Wisconsin. All right, good old Ringling Brothers. 1885, first mass production of shoes by Jan Masquerier's Consolidated Lasting Machine Company in Lynn, Massachusetts. So, mass production of shoes. 1885, German Chancellor Otto von Bismarck took possession of Cameroon and Togoland. I know Togoland was somewhere in Africa. I've heard of Cameroon, I just don't know where that is. So, 1891, Rice Institute was chartered in Houston, Texas to become Rice University.
Oh, okay.
Never heard of that place, but...
Never heard of Rice University?
No. No. And I haven't heard of Beans High School either.
Boo.
Rice and beans.
I got it.
So, 1892, U.S. citizen engineer Charles Brady King invented the pneumatic hammer. Basically the jackhammer. I'm going to image search this really quick. Yeah, because like all I could find was, jackhammer.
That's pretty modern, though.
Yeah. Well, like, here's like the blueprint. Or something like just, he uses pneumatics and boom, 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 boom,
yeah.
you know, and here it is attaching it to the pneumatic hose and everything. So, yeah. 1892, National Society of Colonel Dames of America founded, or Colonial Dames? It's weird. National Society of Colonial Dames of America? Search for women? Dames? Like,
I don't know.
1893, heavy rains washed quick clay into a deep valley, killing 111 people in Norway. What the heck is quick clay? Like, is it like quicksand or something?
I doubt it.
quick clay. Also known as leaded clay and Champlain sea clay in Canada, is any of several distinctively sensitive glacial marine clays found in Canada, Norway, Russia, Sweden, Finland, the United States, yada yada yada. But what is it?
I just think it's a very clay-like material in the ground, you know.
Quick clay has been the underlying cause of many deadly landslides. In Canada alone, it has been associated with more than 250 mapped landslides. Some of these are ancient and may have been triggered by earthquakes.
So it sounds like a level of clay that doesn't hold water or support it in some ways, and it causes landslides.
Yeah, it says formation of quick clay at the height of the past glaciation about 20,000 years ago. The land was pushed down by the weight of the ice. All the ground-up rock was deposited in the surrounding ocean, which had penetrated significantly inland. The loose deposition of the salt and clay particles in the marine environment allowed an unusual fluctuation to take place. Essentially, this formed a strongly bonded soil skeleton, which was glued by highly mobile sea salt ions. Okay, well, I'm going to add this to the underbar section. Quick clay. If anybody out there wants to look more into this, it sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we don't have the time, unfortunately, to dig too much deeper into that. We got to keep going here. 1896, first automobile by Carl Benz arrived in Netherlands.
Benz.
Excellent. Yeah.
As in Mercedes.
Yes. Well,
that's a partnership, Mercedes
yep.
and Benz.
Mm-hmm. I think we spoke about already when they merged.
I think we did.
So, 1897, playwright Oscar Wilde was released from Reading Gaol. What does that mean? Like,
what do you mean?
He was released.
The play was released.
Playwright Oscar Wilde was released from Reading Gaol. Sounds like he was like in prison or something.
I think he released a play. I don't know. It's not written very well.
I don't know. No, Oscar Wilde sentenced to 2 years imprisonment for gross indecency in 1895, and this is 1897. So that's 2 years.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Right.
Yeah. So he was in jail. That was just weird. Like I just wanted to make a joke. A playwright is, and like it's capitalized, so this is the name of the place or whatever. Reading Gaol.
Yeah.
But a playwright was released from Reading Gaol, so it sounds like his imprisonment was reading a book named Gaol or something. Anyway, 1898, U.S. Congress passed the Private Mailing Card Act, allowing private publishers and printers to produce postcards which have to be labeled private mailing cards until 1901, known as souvenir cards. 1900, Great Britain annexed Tonga Island, and 1902, Great Britain and Boers resumed peace talks in Pretoria. Good. 1906, the Federated Boys Club, the Boys Club of America, organized. And we also have Italian King Victor Emmanuel and Swiss President Ludwig Former opened the Simplon Tunnel, a railroad tunnel through the Alps that was the world's longest until 1982. So 1906 and 1982, and that was the longest. That's amazing. I'm gonna look this art list up real quick. What is that? I guess that's Ben's in his car.
Oh yeah.
Right there. So, yeah, good thing I looked. We're not there yet. I don't fully remember exactly what that was. But yeah, like this tunnel. Look at that. Like I wonder what they use for ventilation and everything. I mean, these look haunting, you know?
Yeah.
So. Let's see here. 1910, passage of Earth through tail of Halley's Comet caused near panic. Yeah, a lot of people, thought that particles were going to hit us or whatever. It's in the tail.
Yeah.
So we pass through the tail.
Yeah.
What's in the tail? Is it radioactive? So, which, although, wouldn't it be like a lot of water ice, space?
It's basically ice
so,
and
yeah,
whatever other material. But yes, what's melting? It comes next to the sun and it's moving fast. Hence, as it's melting, it's leaving a tail of mostly melted ice.
Yeah. 1911, Parks Canada, the world's first national park service, was established as the Dominion Parks branch under the Department of the Interior. It's telling me to image search this, so let's do that. So Parks Canada image. Oh yeah, here we go. Since it was created, the name has changed various times, but it has been Parks Canada since 1998. It predates the United States National Park Service by 5 years. The agency manages 37 national parks and 1 urban park, 3 national marine conservation areas, and 172 national historic sites. It's pretty cool. So keep it up, Parks Canada. 1912, American League President Ben Johnson told Detroit Tigers if they continue protests of Ty Cobb's suspension, they will be banned from baseball.
Ooh. Pretty severe.
Yeah. That's kind of like, this is what I'm saying. That grossly infringes on their First Amendment rights.
Yeah.
But then again, that's a private company. If you don't like it, you don't have to work there. Well, that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
If you're going to be in a position to employ and pay sovereign citizens of the United States of America, then to some degree you have to abide by the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, not necessarily as stringent as government, but closer to it than a normal citizen. Because if you're going to give corporations rights to behave like that, that's just setting the stage for things that have already happened, like the government, they can't make a law that mandates us to wear masks. But they can get all of their friends that run all these companies to mandate it on the company level, and boom, that's how they circumvent the law and they get it done. They've been doing this shit since since VOC. Since the Dutch East India Company, the British East India Company, the French East India, all of these East India companies, it's the exact same reason. So they can use a company to circumvent the law by giving companies citizenship rights. Something needs to give. If the citizens are getting their rights infringed upon, and you don't like it, go work somewhere else. Well, if everywhere is like that, then you don't really have a choice. It's a very sneaky form of fascism.
You lose your job if you don't get vaccinated.
Yeah.
Boy, that is so against that.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah.
That should be illegal. That is unconstitutional. Anyway, what else do we got here? We got that one. 1913, Webb Allen land holding bill passed forbidding Japanese from owning land. Was that U.S.? It wouldn't have been Australia by then, I don't think. So, 1917, the Norwegian football club Rosenborg BK was founded. Okay. 1918, Washington's first Sunday game. Senators defeated Cleveland 1-0 in 18 innings. Wow. 1919, the Kilauea volcano on Java erupted, ultimately killing 5,160 people. So Mount Kilauea in Java, Indonesia erupted, resulting in one of the most deadly eruptions of the 20th century, and killing an estimated 5,000 people in 104 small villages. Wow. 1919, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk landed at Sandstone on the Black Sea coast, beginning the Turkish War of Independence. 2 years after that, 1921, U.S. Congress sharply curbed immigration, setting a national quota system. Is that a good thing? We can only have so much or something? I mean...
Yeah, a quota means they're only going to allow so many in here.
I'm for that because you don't want a run, because we only have a finite amount of resources.
Right. Right.
So all of a sudden we have a large influx of illegals that swell so much that about 25%, 1 in 4 to 1 in 5 people in this country are illegals, which they were until ICE did their thing. Excellent work, ICE, by the way.
There's still a lot of illegals.
But such a strain on everything,
My question about this is, I think it was probably needed because you have to regulate how your country's growing. Now,
especially 21, the whole American melting pot, and that's around the time when Fievel, remember the cartoon movie Fievel? When they came over from Russia. So massive immigration in the 20s and everything.
Well, let me finish my thought. My question is, if now they're pinpointing it, we don't want African countries here, so we'll take them from over here. Now, if they're doing something,
I don't like that.
I'm not saying they're doing that. We don't know what they're doing. How are they limiting it? That's the only thing I question.
I just say the numbers, not from any. If they're doing it regionally like that, that's atrocious.
Fine. Cutting it back is fine. You do what you need.
If you just say 500 a day, boom, done. I don't care if you're from Africa, Asia, anywhere. Just 500. That's it. In total, or whatever the number is. So, just thinking about cherry picking like that is horrifying.
Well, I'm not saying that's what they did.
That's horrible. So,
anyway, always the fear of what they do.
1922, the Younger Pioneer Organization of the Soviet Union was established. So like that's boy club or boy scout type thing or something. 23, KPD, communist revolts in German Ruhr cities occupied by Allies. 1 century ago, in 1926, French Air Force bombed Damascus, Syria. Why are they bombing Syria? That's weird.
No.
It wasn't World War One. It was over. Like, the Ottomans were gone. Like, I guess maybe there was like some power vacuum or something. Because like they divided. Remember, like we spoke about that article the other day, where in like 1916 they were dividing up the lands of like Syria and Iraq and all this stuff, which were Ottoman, but Ottoman weren't going to be around after World War One. So, 26 as well. National Broadcasting Company (NBC), founded by the Radio Corporation of America (RCA).
Ah, okay.
So for what it's worth, happy birthday NBC, you freaking fascists. 28, fire damp exploded in Mather coal mine, Pennsylvania, killing 195 of 273 miners. Yikes.
Boy, that's a lot of them, most of them.
Yeah. Well, less than 100 left. So.
Yeah.
28 as well, 51 frogs entered the first annual Frog Jumping Jubilee, Angels Camp, California.
Only in California.
Yeah. 29, Chinese warlord Feng Yuezhang declared war on Chiang Kai-shek's nationalist government.
Ah.
Well, considering we really don't know one of their names, I wonder who won.
Yeah.
We also have cloudburst caused stampede in Yankee Stadium, crushing 2 people to death. Now, you know what a cloudburst is, right?
A heavy rain is what I would think.
Yeah, it's like boom.
Yeah.
Like, it's more of a like a pressure than a rain, I think. Let me look that up though, just to be sure. Because like I think they've spoken about cloudbursts, like in aviation. Oh yeah, a cloudburst is a large amount of precipitation in a very short period of time. So you're right, like a lot of rain and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was a massive pressure suddenly. So 1930, white women win voting rights in South Africa. Man, dude, like
white women only.
Well, no, white women win voting rights. So I mean,
what about black women?
I'm sure they already had right. Well, not in 1930.
Are you kidding me?
Not in 30. No. Apartheid. So, yeah. Well, I mean, like, this was women's suffrage.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in the U.S., it was, 1920 or something that passed?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. 1934, Sherlock Holmes crossword puzzle in Saturday Review of Literature. Males who solved puzzle became members of Baker Street Irregulars. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, 35, English Cardinal John Fisher and statesman Thomas More, both who were executed by Henry VIII, were canonized as saints by Pope Pius XI. So, like, this is way after they were executed. NFL adopted an annual college draft to begin in 1936. Yeah, so that's where the draft comes from.
Yeah.
5 years later, 1940, Amsterdam time became MET, Middle European time. We also have during World War II, French counterattack at Péronne under General Charles de Gaulle. One of the greatest leaders in history, Charles de Gaulle, man. 41, Germany occupiers in Holland forbade bicycle taxis. That's a weird thing to forbid, but okay. We also have the new Nazi battleship Bismarck left Guinea, Poland. So, the friggin' Bismarck. And you know about the Bismarck.
Yeah.
Yep. 42, during World War II, in the aftermath of the Battle of the Coral Sea, Task Force 16 headed to Pearl Harbor for repairs.
Ooh.
Well, but Pearl Harbor had already been hit. 41, no.
Yeah.
43, Berlin was declared Judenrein, or free of Jews. Yikes. Absolute horrifying. 43, Churchill pledged Britain's full support to U.S. against Japan. So Winston Churchill's second wartime address to the U.S. Congress. 44, 240 gypsies transported to Auschwitz from Westerbork, Netherlands, including sentry girl Senna Steinbach, famously filmed by Jewish photographer Rudolf Reschler. I'm going to look this up here really quick.
So gypsies were sent to Auschwitz?
Yes. No, like I brought this up many times. The Holocaust was not just about Jews. Yes, they were like 90% if not more of it.
Yeah.
But it went after the mentally retarded, the mentally challenged, people with brain disorders, physically disabled. If you're in a wheelchair, you get gassed. They went after the gypsies. They went after blacks. They, like basically, if you weren't white, if you didn't have blonde hair, or blue eyes, if you didn't have those 3 characteristics, you were going to get in the chamber one way or another, somehow. It wasn't only the Jews. People just do not understand that, and it really breaks my heart.
But like
how
you say,
so
it's
many
95% Jews.
it doesn't matter. Like every death is horrible. It doesn't matter who you're at. But for whatever reason, our media, only covers one thing.
When it's that big a percentage, that's the focus.
You got to cover the other people.
Yeah, I agree with that.
When Trump got shot in the ear, everybody tried to forget the firefighter who died behind him, and he wouldn't let him go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not saying anything good about Trump. I'm just saying what he did. Okay, I do not support him. Okay, I'm just giving credit where credit is due. If you're going to sit there and only give one one group the spotlight, even if it's the largest group, it doesn't matter. You're doing a massive disservice to all the others who died. It's just not right.
He had his fireman's jacket down there when he accepted the nomination.
Yeah, but I want to get back to the main. I think that's the photograph or something.
Oh.
Century Girl, Sedela Steinbeck. So yeah, that's Sedela Steinbeck there. 44, German defense line in Italy collapsed. Good. We also have writer and civil rights activist W.E.B. Du Bois became the first black member of the American Academy of Arts and Letters. Excellent.
Good for him.
Yeah. What was it that he wrote?
I like the name Dubois.
Dubois, yeah. I could have sworn. I guess not. I'm thinking about somebody else then, but I could have sworn I read a book by him. I don't know. Anyway, 1944. Nope, we got that one. 45. Start of the first. I didn't put this in here to bother you. Okay, I know how much you don't like the cricket stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but you told me that you wanted me to stop doing that. But
well, it's getting old.
I'm not doing. I've never once really put it in to get at you. Like,
well, it's kind of a joke.
Well, yes, it is. But at the same time, for honesty, I really do want to know more about this stuff.
Okay.
Because it says here, start of the first victory test cricket between England and Aust services. So this is the start of the first one ever. Ah. So that deserves a little shout out.
Sure.
I'm not putting this, these things in here, to annoy you.
No,
you
it doesn't even annoy me. It's just become a joke.
Yeah, but I just feel like I have to mention that because I don't want you feeling like I'm trying to come after you again.
No, I never felt you coming after me.
Anyway, 1945 as well, Syrian demonstrators in Damascus were fired upon by French troops, injuring 12, leading to the Levant crisis. Yikes. Blues time, 1946, Dutch Cooperation for Sexual Reform and VHS formed in Amsterdam. Okay, that's kind of weird. 1950, the New York Times reported a world's smallest and dumbest mechanical brain. Smallest and simplest, according to other sources. Smallest, dumbest, smallest, and simplest. And I looked this up, like, tiny brain robot, not so very dumb. So this is from 1950, okay. So this is the entire news article. 25 persons who went to the Columbia University, a mild enough looking robot who stands at 30 by 26 by 6 inches and weighs just under 50 pounds. Simon first. So it's a little robot thing. Can I...
Yeah, but back in the 50s, that's something.
Yeah, it is. So, 1950 as well. Now, this is no longer on either source. Egypt announced that the Suez Canal is closed to Israeli ships and commerce. 1950, a barge containing munitions destined for Pakistan exploded in the harbor at South Amboy, New Jersey, devastating the city. Yikes. Pakistan. Why are we loading up a barge of munition? A barge in New Jersey? Like, barges don't cross the ocean, do they? Like,
I mean,
they're a barge.
You don't think of you think of rivers and stuff.
I mean,
barges go down the river.
This sounds like a third world activity. Why are we loading up a barge in New Jersey to go across the Atlantic to fucking, Pakistan, of all places? That's weird. 52, Time magazine featured Theseus, an electoral learning machine built by U.S. scientist Claude Shannon, the first example of AI, or artificial intelligence. That's what this thing is.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that's wild. Like, I wonder what all these, metal things are. It has to do something with the computing processing or something. We have a nuclear explosion in Nevada in 1953, caused fallout in St. George, Utah. So
the
winds
currents go up that way.
Yeah. U.S. House of Representatives voted to ratify the state constitution and admit Ohio to the Union retroactively as of March 1st, 1803, 150 years after overlooking the paperwork.
And they did have up in Utah there, they did have an elevated of cancer.
Oh.
You know, after that, some years after and stuff.
Yeah.
People dying and so forth.
But did you hear this this article I just read?
Yeah.
Because of paperwork. So technically, Ohio was the 50th state.
Technically.
Well, actually, when was Alaska and Hawaii? But it would have been back then. You know, like how would you classify it? Because you know it was done March 1st, 1803, but it wasn't ratified. Right. So like, is it done or is it now done? Like.
Well, it's now done.
Like,
that was in 1953, right?
Yeah, 1953 versus 1803. So 150 years later.
Yeah.
Well, it says it right here.
But Alaska and Hawaii came later.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is, like, if Ohio was originally, like, the 13th state, would it be, like, the 42nd now, or whatever, if I'm making any sense?
I don't know, yeah.
Yeah. 1956, 1954, Postmaster General Summerfield approved CIA mail opening project. So I guess they're looking for something.
Yeah, spying on your mail.
Yeah, well, they're spying on your everything now. You know, the freaking, what was it called, Patriot Act. 1955, Atkinson and DePaza made 347 stand for 7th wicket, WI versus Australia. So, like, do they stand up? Is that what it means?
I don't know.
They made 347 stand. Like, do they stand up in astonishment? Are they, ovation? Like, this is why I read these things. I want to know. Like, it's weird. 56, a pachyderm building in Cleveland Metro Park Zoo opened. So pachyderm, being, thick skin. Yeah. Like elephants and whatnot. Yeah. What would they call it for a thick skull? Because I'm one of those. Pachyscholus or something?
You have a thick skull?
Yeah, well, I'm sure I do. Mom clinically had one,
yes,
like legitimately.
I know.
Like thicker than average. Like
so you had a thick skull.
Legitimately, not even the same.
It was noted in for brain scans and things.
So I
usually thick skull.
I've always wanted to have my brain scan. I'm just kind of concerned.
Probably set off alarms.
Well, no, I have a high likelihood of just not having anything in there. Like it's just, where is it? No. What else do we got here? 1956, Pittsburgh Pirates Dale Long hit 9th inning home run, the first home run in 8 straight games. Nice. 1958, Rogers and Hammerstein's South Pacific soundtrack album went #1 and stayed #1 for 31 weeks. 1959, USS Triton, the first submarine with 2 nuclear reactors, was completed. We also have the North Vietnamese Army established Group 559, whose responsibility was to determine how to maintain supply lines to South Vietnam. The resulting route was the Ho Chi Minh Trail. So this is the beginning of that. Yeah. It's really interesting. 1960, Alan Freed and 8 other radio DJs were accused of taking radio payola, which are bribes from record companies. So basically getting paid to play a song.
Yeah, payola. Oh, that was a big stink.
Yeah, we've covered that.
Yeah. I remember it.
Yep. Belgian Parliament required rest day for self-employed. I'm cool with that. 1960 as well, San Francisco's Giants rookie Juan Marichal defeated Philadelphia. Marichal.
No, Marshall.
Juan Marshall defeated Philadelphia Phillies 2-0 on debut at Candlestick Park. The first National League hurler since 1900 to debut with a one-hitter.
Yeah, he's a great pitcher. Ron Marshall.
61, during the Venera program, Venera 1 became the first man-made object to fly by another planet by passing Venus. The probe had lost contact with Earth a month earlier and did not send back any data. It was telling me to image search this, and actually this is it right here on the ground before they launched it, CCCP. So, go to the old Soviet Union and all that jazz. But I just wanted to look this up really quick. Yeah, it shows here. Venera 1 was launched February 12th, 61. Flyby mission, heliocentric orbit, no data returned from Venus, communications were lost en route. So it took several months to get over there. So What else do we got here? 1961, at Silshire Railway Station, Ashram, 11 Bengalis died when police opened fire on protesters demanding state recognition of Bengali language in the Bengali language movement. Yeah, well, if you're not willing to die for your beliefs will die, without you or something. So, 62, Indonesian paratroopers landed in New Guinea. That's weird. One, I didn't even realize Indonesia had paratroopers. Two, why are they invading New Guinea?
I don't know any of the answers.
Weird. 62 as well, Marilyn Monroe sung Happy Birthday, Mr. President to JFK before 15,000 attendees, accompanied by jazz pianist Hank Jones at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Yeah, that was the horribly disgusting, seductive one and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Oh, keep it in your pants, Marilyn. Jeez. 62, Stan Musial broke Honus Wagner's National League hit record with 3,431. Nice. Look how weird his hat looks.
That's an old-timer right there.
It's a stubby hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
63, the New York Post Sunday magazine published Martin Luther King Jr.'s letter from Birmingham jail. 64, U.S. diplomats found at least 40 secret microphones in Moscow embassy. Yikes.
Wow.
65, Patricia R. Harris was named as the first black female ambassador, being the ambassador for Luxembourg, between us and Luxembourg. It's pretty cool. 67, Soviet Union ratified treaty with Britain and the U.S. banning nuclear weapons in space. And now we just have a kinetic bombardment and everything, so wonderful. 68, Frank Howard failed to homer after hitting 10 in 6 consecutive games. So broke the streak there. 68, pirate radio Brumble of Northern England was first heard. What a name, Brumble.
Yeah.
Like a bumblebee or something. 71, Soviet Union launched Mars 2, becoming the first spacecraft to crash land on Mars. Well, they got there. So.
They got there.
Yeah. 74, Stanley Cup Final. The Spectrum, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Goaltender Bernie Parent and the Flyers shut out the Boston Bruins 1-0 to win series 4-2, becoming the first expansion team to win the Stanley Cup. Parent named playoff MVP. Now, why is the expansion team in quotations? Like, were they not an expansion team, or what? It's weird.
I don't know why they put it in quotations, but
it's weird.
The first expansion team to win.
Okay. 75, a farm truck packed with wedding party was struck by a train, killing 66 in the truck, 40 miles south of Pune, India. Yikes. Oh, that's horrible. 76, gold ownership was legalized in Australia. All right. 76 as well, Senate established permanent select committee on intelligence. Like, what? Like, you have to be pretty unintelligent to understand the need for something like this.
Yeah, I know.
It's ridiculous. 77, caper comedy film Smokey and the Bandit, starring Burt Reynolds, Sally Field, and Jackie Gleason, premiered at Radio City Music Hall in New York City. I have yet to see that.
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
In the Navy, single by Village People hit number 3 on this date in 1979.
Oh, I didn't realize they went that far back.
Yeah. 81, 5 British Army soldiers were killed when their armored vehicle was ripped apart by a Provisional Irish Republican Army roadside bomb near Bestbrook, County Armagh. Like the way this was written, it sounded like like a bunch of people stormed the car and were literally like ripping an armored car apart by hand. Like, what is happening? But it wasn't until near the end of the freaking statement a bomb. Yeah. Oh, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's just like ripped apart by Provisional Irish Republican Army people. Like, what? 81, pirate Jim Bibley gave up a leadoff single to brave Terry Harper, then retired the next 27 batters. Yeah. 82, Sophia Loren jailed in Naples, Italy for tax evasion.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't be evading taxes. 83.
You ever heard of her?
Nope.
Oh, the actress?
Sophia Loren?
Yeah, great actress.
Yeah, I'm just, I'm surprised that, an influential, wealthy elitist would actually face repercussions for their actions.
Yeah.
Well, that's why that article is being read. I don't know who the hell she is. So,
I told you, she's an actress.
Well, yeah, it says so right here, too. You're not telling me anything to the website, is it? I mean, hell, I can look at her biography and figure out a lot more. 2 women, okay. Academy Award, okay.
She made a bunch of movies.
She doesn't have a whole lot here, so, yeah. Anyway, I know this person, though. In 1983, Weird Al Yankovic gave live performance at Wax Museum in Washington, D.C. 84, nope, not that one. This one here. Pat LaFontaine scored 2 goals within 22 seconds in an NHL playoff game. Wow. And then 1986, anti-apartheid activist Helene Pasteur sentenced to 10 years in South Africa. Because she's a political dissident, so they got to shut her up. That's terrible. 1986, the Firearm Owners Protection Act was signed into law by U.S. President Ronald Reagan. And not surprising, it's not on the primary source here. So, Ayo's time, 1987, the 40th Cannes Film Festival, Sous les Sorels de Satan. I don't like that last part. Directed by Maurice Pilat, won the Palme d'Or. Nothing with the word Satan in it deserves any form of award. That's disgusting. 1988, Carlos Leder Rivas of Colombia's Medellin drug cartel was convicted in Florida for smuggling more than 3 tons of Cuban snow into the U.S. Good. He should have seen the business end of a rope, though. 88, Red Sox retired Bobby Doors, number 1. Okay. 89, Dow Jones Industrial Average passed the 2,500 mark for the first time, closing at 2,501.1. 89 as well, Sue Ellen's or Linda Gray, her last appearance on the TV show Dallas. We also have 1990 Elvis TV drama series about the early life of Elvis Presley, last aired on ABC. 1 year later, Willie T. Ribbs overcame numerous mechanical problems in qualifying to become the first black stadium driver to make the Indianapolis 500 starting grid.
Okay.
Did he make it? Yeah, it says he overcame it. So, excellent. Beautiful. 91, Croatians voted for independence in a referendum. Nice. 92, the 27th Amendment was ratified, prohibiting Congress from raising its salary. You know what? Better late than never. So, all the way in 92, they finally figured that out. Let's stop giving these people the right to pay themselves more. But that's weird. 92 as well, Amy Fisher shot Mary Jo Buttafuoco in the face in an altercation over an affair with her husband in Massapequa, New York. What the hell?
Yeah, I remember that.
Psycho bitch. Englishman Dave Gower, at 224 pounds, pulled a 196-ton jumbo jet 3 inches. You couldn't, make it 4, man? Come on. Those are rookie numbers. I couldn't even begin to start. That's impressive. In 1993, this one's really sad. Boeing 727 crashed into a mountain at Medellin, Colombia, killing 132 people. So Sam Colombia Flight 501 crashed on approach to Jose Maria Cordova International Airport in Medellin, Colombia, killing 132 people, as I said. That's just a lot of people, I looked at that and I'm like, do I want this in the show? It's really depressing. There's nothing interesting about it, but 132 people. I mean, come on, I got to honor somebody somewhere. So, 93, Dow Jones Industrial Average closed above 3,500 for the first time at 3,500.03. 94, final episode of a U.S. TV drama, L.A. Law, after an 8-year run. All right. 95, the world's youngest doctor, Balamarali Ambate, at the age of 17, graduated from Mount Sinai. That's cool, but I'd rather wait until you're 30 or if not older before you start letting you mess around with my organs,
True.
They're like, you can be smart as a tack, but you're young and you're stupid, You'd be like, oh, I can do it faster this way, and suddenly I lose a pint of blood.
He was young, but I don't think he's stupid.
Education does not necessarily mean intelligence. So, 97, The Lost World Jurassic Park, directed by Steven Spielberg and starring Jeff Goldblum and Julianne Moore, premiered in the U.S. And 97 as well, the Sierra Gorda Biosphere, the most ecologically diverse region in Mexico, was established as a result of grassroots efforts. Look at this. This is a picture of that. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I would love to visit that. It's amazing. We also have 99, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, directed by George Lucas, starring Ewan McGregor, Natalie Portman, and Liam Neeson, was released in cinemas. 99, Andrew Moulton was appointed British Poet Laureate for 10 years, the first to request a definite term. Okay. In the year 2000, Space Shuttle program, Space Shuttle Atlantis, was launched on mission STS-101 to resupply the International Space Station. All right. 1 year later, Manchester United lose 3-1 to Tottenham at White Hart Lane, but won the English Premier League title for the 3rd consecutive season. 2006, Rock for the Rainforest benefit concert held at Carnegie Hall, New York City. Performers included Sting, James Taylor, Billy Joel, Sheryl Crow, and Jenny Kravitz. 2007, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, directed by Gore Verbinski, starring Johnny Depp, Keira Knightley, and Orlando Bloom, premiered in Anaheim. It was the most expensive film made at the time, costing $300 million.
Jeez.
And that's since been surpassed. It's crazy.
Oh, big time.
2007 as well, Sicko, a documentary on the U.S. healthcare system, directed by Michael Moore, had its premiere at the Cannes Film Festival. We also have Coen Brothers film No Country for Old Men. A lot of movies today. Based on the Cormac McCarthy novel starring Tommy Lee Jones, Javier Bardem, and Josh Brolin, premiered at the Cannes Film Festival, later to receive the Best Picture of 2008. It's an interesting movie. The villain, like, I don't know, he doesn't scare me. He's just weird with his haircut. Like, it's
I've never seen it.
Yeah, like I'll show you. Like, No Country for Old Men villain. Like, it's like he looks like somebody from San Francisco. I mean, look at that hairstyle. Like,
Yeah.
he does not look intimidating, does he?
No, not really.
Yeah, but like, he's a murderer. Like, and it's been out for a while, and you know, you don't care about spoilers, but you know what this thing is?
No idea.
It's a device, and they even talk about it in the movie and everything. It's to put cows down. Like, they have a thing, and like, it's pneumatic, so they put it up to the forehead, and it drives a spike like really quickly, and everything, you know, kills the brain immediately. Like, you know, it's like getting shot in the head without being a bullet and all that stuff. And this guy went around and killed people with that thing. So it was crazy.
Great.
Yeah, he was like a hitman or something. It's a kind of confusing, really boring, slow-paced movie and all that stuff. And the you know, as I said, the villain, like,
yeah, I see what you're saying.
he looks like a word I can't say. You know, like a real dandy. You know, like, so. Yeah, 2007 in an all South African final, the Bulls of Pretoria edged the home of Team Sharks 2019 in the Durban for their first Super 14 rugby title. Bulls fly half Derek Hugard booted 2 penalties and 2 conversions. President of Romania, Traian Basiu, survived an impeachment referendum and returned to office from suspension. Wow, he like really came back, you know, on the skin of his teeth right there. A mass shooting started in Moscow, Idaho. You know, speaking of another weird name, there's a Moscow in Idaho, which would leave 3 non-shooters dead and 3 more injured before the shooter committed self-deletion the next day. 2 years later, Sri Lanka announced victory in its 25-year war against the terrorist organization Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, LTTE. We spoke about this yesterday. 2010, the Royal Thai Armed Forces concluded its crackdown on protests by forcing the surrender of United Front for Democracy against dictatorship leaders. 2011, Alpha Magnetic Spectrocomputer, a project to search for dark matter led by Samuel C.C. Ting, installed on the International Space Station. That sounds awesome. 2012, 3 gas cylinder bombs exploded in front of a vocational school in the Italian city of Brindisi, killing 1 person and injuring 5 others. Yikes. 2014, a decorated Dutch coach Louis van Gaal confirmed as manager of Manchester United. Ryan Giggs was named the assistant, confirmed retirement as a player at the age of 40 after 963 games and English record 22 major trophies. Nice, you know, career there, man. 2015, historic first handshake between Prince Charles and Sinn Féin leader Gary Adams at the National University of Ireland in Galway. Now, hopefully that's
that has some significance, but I don't know what it is.
Well, Ireland being free, and Sinn Féin, like, you know, they're the Irish people or whatever. Like, Britain's trying to still occupy Ireland. You know, it's just never ends. We also have the UK inflation. UK inflation is recorded as a negative for the first time since 1960. That's a long time. 2015,
inflation, not inflation.
Yeah. No, it says UK inflation is recorded as a negative for the first time since 1960.
That means deflation.
Oh, okay.
Negative inflation is deflation.
True. 2015, the Refugio oil spill deposited 142,800 U.S. gallons, or 3,400 barrels, of crude oil into an area in California considered one of the most biologically diverse coastlines of the West Coast. That almost sounds like they did it on purpose.
Refugio, that's a neat little spot up there.
Yeah. 2016, Egypt Air Flight MS-804 went missing over the Mediterranean en route from Paris to Cairo. So, Although the other source says it crashed, killing all on board. So did it crash? Did they find the wreckage, or did it disappear? Because this just says, the primary source says goes missing, but secondary source says crash. So, 2018, U.S. actress Meghan Markle married Prince Harry at a ceremony at Windsor Castle, making her a member of the British royal family. What to do? And that goes in with this. The wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle is held at St. George's Chapel, Windsor, with an estimated global audience of 1.9 billion. And I wasn't going to read this part, but just because, it's all part of the same crap. Queen Elizabeth II granted the titles of Duke and Duchess of Sussex to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle upon their marriage. Whoop-de-doo, who cares, royals, whatever. Anyway, moving on up to things that actually matter. The 2019 sprinter Dutee Chand came out as India's first openly homosexual professional athlete. Okay. 2019 as well, U.S. billionaire Robert F. Smith announced he will pay off college loans of nearly 400 students of the graduating class at Morehouse College in Atlanta. But did he, is the question. No.
If he's a man of his word, he did.
They could be...
It's an if.
Yeah, well, it's been 6 years, so if he hasn't, then he's not going to. 7 years, actually. 2020, greenhouse gas emissions dropped by 17% worldwide in April 2020 when the world was in lockdown. A study published in Nature Climate Change. No, that's just propaganda to push more of this fascism on the whole world. 2020, 2 dams on Tittabawassee River in central Michigan breached by floodwaters, forcing evacuation of thousands of residents. Wow. 1 year after that, Argentine President Alberto Fernandez announced a circuit breaker lockdown as the country recorded over 39,000 daily Kung flu cases, COVID-19. 2021, BBC investigation founded their 1995 Princess Diana interview was secured through deceitful behavior by journalist Martin Bashir. That's interesting. New York City began reopening after 423 days. Having closed since March of 2020, with the Kung flu death toll at 33,000. We also have the EU agreed to open its borders to vaccinated travelers from safe countries. 2022, Argentine landmark criminal trial found the state responsible for a massacre of more than 400 Com and Moquit people in 1924 in the Chaco region, the first trial of its kind in Latin America. Well, I hope they find, more people responsible for things and, really start bringing justice. We also have environmental pollution caused by obstegogen toxins is having a significant effect on the obesity crisis and can be passed down through generations according to a major new study. Okay, so these are toxins by blood or something?
I don't know.
That's weird. Mercedes confirmed the sale of the world's most expensive car, a 1955 Mercedes-Benz SLR Coupe, for 135 million euros, or 142 million dollars. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do an image search of that really quick just to see. I almost put that on the thumbnail, but I don't want to give them any publicity or all that stuff. So this car.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Most expensive. So 142 million dollars for that. I don't know. I mean, if I had that kind of money...
Came with a warranty.
Yeah, that's a good question. 2022 as well, Oklahoma passed a bill banning nearly all abortions, the most restrictive in the country. And once again, when it comes to that, if you're a struggle snuggled or if it's, within family, I understand. Otherwise, be responsible for your actions.
Yeah.
2023, Owl/Legacy Recordings released 7 Psalms, the 15th studio album by U.S. singer-songwriter Paul Simon. It's a lot of albums.
Yeah.
2023, pop, rhythm, and blues vocal group The Spinners donated nearly 400 stage outfits to the Motown Museum in Detroit, Michigan.
The Spinners, yeah.
2024, Iran's President Ibrahim Raisi died in a helicopter crash in foggy conditions, along with his foreign minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian and other officials. We also have Manchester City defeated West Ham 3-1 at Etihad Stadium to become the first team to win the English Premier League title for 4 consecutive seasons. 2024, Sean Diddy Combs issued an apology after a video was released by CNN of him assaulting his ex-girlfriend in 2016 after previously denying it happened. Yeah, that's the one with they're in the hallway by the hotel or punching him and by the elevators or something. Yeah, I remember that. And that was like the least of his concerns.
Yeah.
He would come to realize, the Diddy thing,
Yeah.
like the whole Diddy list, it's in and of itself its own Epstein level, crisis.
I really don't know much about it.
I mean, like,
I know
they-
what's going on, but I haven't heard anything in a
they
long
have
time, actually.
they have found tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of gallons of baby oil in his home. Massive sex parties and God knows what. Like he might have been doing things akin to Epstein. Like he's for sure being looked at for human trafficking. Like as I said, the whole Diddy thing is almost as big, if not bigger, than the whole Epstein thing. Like it's crazy. 2 articles left. 2025, police in Paris, France recovered the memorial bust of Stadium the Doors singer Jim Morrison that was stolen from his grave in 1988.
Oh,
so
man.
we spoke about that a while ago when it was stolen.
Yeah.
So this is they found it out today 1 year ago.
They covered it.
That's awesome. And in the year 2161, so this is the future, we have the Saturn, however you pronounce that. 8 of the 9 planets are forecast to align in the same side of the sun. So obviously not to scale, but 8 of the 9 planets. And I like how they say 8 of the 9. So they're subtly saying that Pluto's a planet this way, But technically, the only real planets are the 8 ones. I still acknowledge that Pluto is a planet, a dwarf planet. But if we're gonna give it full planetary status, then we're not gonna have 9 planets in the solar system. We're gonna have like 23. Because anything bigger than Pluto is going to have the same classification. Am I wrong? I mean, I see where you're coming from, but you got to face facts. If we're going to classify Pluto as a planet, everything bigger has to be as such as well. We can't just do it just because it's Pluto.
I can't argue with you, but it's a personal thing for me. I grew up with Pluto as a planet.
I did too. That's what I'm saying. I understand what you're saying, but you got to bite the bullets. At least it's called a microplanet or whatever, a dwarf planet. So, but yeah, that'll conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description below for any links that you may find interesting. A lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis. We only could bring you a portion, between 2 sources. So this 33-page document, past hour and 5 minutes or so, we've gone through the entire thing. So bravo to anyone out there still watching. Hey, if you're still watching right now, put in the comment section history, just to know that, you stuck by. Anyway, for your dose of Outside Daily, we stream at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
Golden Loon.
UVRU, and we are joined by Jay, who I still think is passed out. So, yeah, well, I told him
Was he in the
earlier.
beginning?
Yeah, he was here, but his mic is muted.
Yeah.
So either he never figured that out, or he's asleep, or he's AFK, or something. But he was really eager to get into the show earlier, but he didn't realize that 5 o'clock Pacific time is 9 o'clock his local time.
Oh, okay.
So he probably went to bed. So anyway, for all that, until you catch us next time, whenever it is, wherever it is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles! And